Hello, this is Jim Wright, and this is your Minute to Slim It. I want to remind you of a thought, of a truth, and that is this. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. You know, years ago when I was a kid, I found out that there was a Coke machine that if you put a nickel in and banged it, you would get out a Coke. This was back in the days when Cokes were a quarter. Remember that? Well, I told my dad a few days later about my newly found discovery, that I could get quarters for a nickel. My dad put me in the car, drove me up to that gas station, and made me confess my sin. That was the hardest thing, but it was the right thing. And you know, I remember that story today because even though it was a very difficult thing to do, it was the right thing. My dad taught me a lesson about being honest. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same thing. You know, it's hard sometimes to say no to those things you love to eat when you're having a healthy day. Now, the good news is there are substitutes, but maybe you don't have one on hand. And sometimes you just have to say no, and that's the hardest thing. But it's the right thing because the fat truck will be driving back to the garage, and if he's in the garage, he'll be really burning fat, and you'll see the weight change. So just remember, sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. And that is today's Minute to Slim It.